0. That's the end of the countdown for the show. Thanks for tuning in. It's Friday. We made it through another week. Congratulations. It's really a victory to make it each time it happens. So congratulate yourself. Do what it is you do to unwind now that you've had a stressful week, possibly. That's if you're working. But be proud of yourself for having made it this far and for having made it to this show. What are we going to talk about? They're all dying. They are. Oh, that's the idea I had today. You know, it was trending on Twitter today. Hashtag vaccine genocide was trending. So I was going to talk a little bit about the nature of reality today. I hope you're ready for a deep discussion. Or just how there are people living in different versions, you know? There are versions of reality, for example, where men can have periods. Apparently, like, that's the version of reality Google is proposing is real. So in this reality where AI creates reality, men can have periods. And you might not think so, but for some people, that's a true fact. And there's nothing you can do to say it isn't, because they believe that words have different meanings. So there are different versions of reality. One reality is YouTube reality, where the shots that they came out with for COVID-19 are safe and effective. They slow the spread, they reduce hospitalizations and death. And that's the facts. And that's the version of reality that I must express to you. Like, that's what I believe. I'm not just saying that. That's what I believe, right? That's what it's supposed to, that's the way they want me to be. But there is a different version of reality than that one. So, and as a matter of fact, the other version is becoming more real in the sense that reality is made up by a consensus opinion about things. The reality in our shared common reality when we're not on YouTube it might be different. So can I say that? I proposed a different version of reality where the thing is neither safe nor effective. In other words, like in this, so I really don't know. This is an experiment like the rest of this show. There are things you're not allowed to talk about. So I come across news stories, for example. I think, wow, this is really interesting information. Deaths in Scotland are not at an all-time high, but they're super high right now. Super high. Deaths from the flu in the last week in Scotland are the highest in 20 years. And I look at that information, I think, wow, what could it be? Could it be gas stoves or climate change or daylight savings time? Turning your head too fast? What did those people all do that they all died last week in Scotland? Why is the rate of people dying 29% above average? Right. So I see that story. I'm like, yeah, I should share that with people. But if I did, and I don't even know actually, but I think they would just suppress the information. And so I'm trying to give it to you in a way that's, like I said, fictional. So because if it was true, but it is true. Okay, sorry. It is true, those things I just told you. And I'm not saying why, but people are dying. Okay. People are like you can see it in the statistics. It's not just a conspiracy theory. More people are dying right now, and nobody knows why, although many people speculate. Many people speculate, and a lot of the people who are speculating may end up being proven correct based on other things. So, yeah, I was thinking about how there are still some people, though, there are still those people where they do live, like I said, in it's a parallel existence, one where everything's cool. And like the anti-vaxxers are really wrong, and they have been wrong. And even if they're right, it's by accident, even if they're correct. So there are people sticking to that narrative. Like, even though people are saying, even though I was wrong, I could have been right. And based on the information at the time, I was correct. Like, I was real. Like, that's what they'll say. Actually, I was correct. It did stop transmission. We were working on the best information at the time. That's what they'll say. But people are still this alternate, like I said, there's this version that we must restrict ourselves to this universe, which is controlled by guidelines, which have regulations about what you can say and can't say, what you can think and can't think. But then there is another reality. So that's all I'm saying. I'm here to tell you there is something else. Okay? Do your own research. They say that's what they tell conspiracy theorists to do. Conspiracy theorists say, do your own research. But check it out. Like, go on Twitter, where they don't have restrictions against medical misinformation, and where people are allowed to say, for example, that there are some side effects, or that there are serious side effects in a certain percentage of people. Go there, do some research, check it out. Don't take my word for it. In fact, don't take my word for it, because I can't even tell you the truth. I can make up fiction and make it sound like truth. So I will give you the fictional version, maybe, of what might have happened in a world where we have a tyrannical government, where people put profits ahead of human lives. It would make a great movie. So I'll tell you all about it. Thanks for joining me for the show. Now we'll play the intro. Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is, joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. And I bring you the news, the real news. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. DL says, if a person's immune system can't fight diseases, then what happens? That's an interesting question. I wonder if you know about this fictitious study I'm about to show you. I might sneeze though, so I'll turn off my mic if I do. All right, let me show you this. This study I would include in my dramatic account of what happened when a vaccine came out and wasn't as safe as they said in this like fictitious world, where when you get boosters, it doesn't help. So like, just imagine, once again, we're weaving another version of reality where when you get more boosters, you actually are more likely to get COVID, like it was reported in the Wall Street Journal, another fictitious publication in this alternate universe. They said, oh yeah, actually, if you get the booster, you're more likely to get COVID. And that's what this other study showed. That actually, they just published that in CNN too, another fake news source. They said, oh, actually, in the study, people who got the booster were more likely to get COVID. So they're saying that. And other people are saying that. They're like, oh, in this other universe. So I said, exists on another plane, in another dimension. They're saying, actually, more shots isn't helpful. And this crazy, demented, mainstream doctor, Paul Offit, wrote a editorial saying shouldn't take it. Yeah, that's weird. And he's mainstream. He said you shouldn't take it, the booster, because they didn't show that it really does that much compared to the regular shot. He didn't say don't take the original shots. He just said the booster, unless you're really vulnerable, he said. But otherwise, he didn't recommend it for people. Well, here's this study, like I said, in this imaginary world, which says that extended boosters destroyed the immune system of mice. Extended immunizations impaired the serum neutralization activity. So this is just a study from China. Alex Berenson wrote about it. This is from the 22nd of December. It's a Chinese study where they injected mice with lots of shots, and it actually kind of shut down their immune system. So, but like I said, that this is all just imaginary. And in Scotland, I'll show you those numbers, which I assure you cannot possibly be real. Well, what do you got to say about excess deaths? Excess deaths, you got to be able to say people are dying, extra people. That seems to be true. It does seem like extra people are dying. And this study says total deaths week 2 of 2023 was 29% above the 5-year average in Scotland. And deaths involving influenza was the highest weekly number of flu deaths registered in over 20 years. The highest weekly number of flu deaths in over 20 years in Scotland. So, I don't know, man. It's pretty crazy. It makes you think, like, it gives me this idea, again, for some kind of movie where there's like a total depopulation. I mean, the thing that concerns me is that people keep dying. That's the thing that concerns me. Like, if they were just dying in proximity, more in proximity to when the intervention occurred, then I'd feel like, well, at least it's like temporary. But now you're seeing people, like, deaths are still going up. Like, that's not good. It's not a good sign. If you live in this other reality where people might be dying because of something, then it's not good that people keep dying, because people aren't getting the intervention anymore. For the most part, hardly anybody got it. So I don't know. I'm just like I said, um, the genocide thing was trending today. Oh, excuse me. I have to sneeze. So I don't know, man. What if they really did? What if it really happened? I don't know. I'm concerned for people though. And I think it's true. In the future, people are going to be concerned because the data that's coming out, like it is very concerning. It should be concerning. And the fact that nobody's asking about it shows that there is some kind of cover up. So, yeah, in this film I make, the authorities are desperate to cover up anything that could make people not want to get the shot, for example, because it turns out that they value dollars more than life. And that it's more important to sell the medication than it is that it's safe. So, yeah, there was some study also in this alternative universe. There was a study done by Rasmussen, but once again, I'd have to say it's an alternative universe, where they said from their study that 7%, they said in their survey that 7% of people reported, and it must not be true, but they reported that they had serious side effects from the jab. That's they reported in this study where they interviewed 1,000 people, and that would not be rare. Basically, that would not be a rare occurrence. Then it would be a regular, common occurrence if it was that high. But yeah, they did some studies. Like I said, different worlds. Well, I told you that there is an alternative world. I told you what the real world is, the one here, which is that it's safe and effective, does all those things. But other people are starting to say different stuff. So I just want you to be aware. It's important to be aware that other realities exist. So I'll give you this story. So yeah, that's it. Otherwise, in the movie, the movie would have all kinds of things. In the movie, they would know, for example, they would know that HCQ and ivermectin worked in the movie. They would know that they worked, and they would intentionally suppress those things just so that the shot could be approved in this movie. In the movie, the stuff's made in a lab. It was made in a lab. It was through U.S. government funding. Once that we found out that that was how it was made, we tried to cover it up as much as possible, including by working with elite scientists to actually just lie to people. It's a crazy, crazy drama. There's this Dr. Ouchie, and Dr. Ouchie is like some kind of career criminal who botched the response to a fictitious disease before, and is hailed as a hero. Dr. Ouchie. Any resemblance to real life characters is purely unintentional. Yeah, it would be a crazy story. It would be a crazy story. And then in the story, they would collude with big tech. Like they would tell big tech what to censor. They would tell them to censor the lab leak origin because they didn't want that information getting out. And then they would censor anybody that talked about, they would censor people who had who had bad reactions to the shot. Like if someone legitimately was injured by the shot, they would be censored, and the government would actually have something to do with that. And in this virtual reality, they would also censor true information that they knew was true at the time, because it would cause hesitancy, and that they were working as much as possible to stop hesitancy because of financial reasons, as much as anything else, just to make sure. And boy, did it pay really well in this version. It paid really well. People got super, super rich, billions. And even if they ever get fined, there's no way they'll ever get fined enough. Even if they ever get fined, they'll never be able to find them enough to make up for how much money they made. So it was worth it. Was it worth it, or is it worth it to sell medication that kills people? Hypothetically, is it worth it? Yeah, it pays off. It pays off. And the government works with you. The government will actually work with you to force people to take your product in this other reality. They'll actually work, the government will force people to take your product. And then they'll pay for it too. And they'll suppress any other drug, might be generic, anything that's generic, they just suppress that. So nobody makes any money off that. And then when a patented drug comes along like Pavloxid, then they'll approve that. And then they'll promote it. And then the pharmaceutical companies would own everybody. They would literally pay for everything. And then they would also reach out to social media companies about censoring information that they didn't like out there. And they would pay for every single media outlet. So there's no way any mainstream media would ever run a story that was detrimental to one of these pharmaceutical companies, because they get paid so much for running ads for them. And then the pharmaceutical companies, in this hypothetical reality, would hire celebrities to trick people into getting medication they probably don't need, and which might be harmful. Weird, scary story, like a horror movie. And then in the end, like, people just start dying. That's how it ends. And then there's like the people that are left over. So yeah, the future, we haven't gotten to the future part yet. The future part is when people really, because it's getting worse, right? Possibly. Hypothetically, it's getting worse right now. More people, even though the intervention already happened, and it's not happening much anymore. People are dying. More people. And then in this future, like, people just, all of a sudden, it's like apocalyptic. People just start dropping dead like crazy. And then all that's left, and then in the pure bloods in this, the movie's called Pure Blood, and it's about an unlikely hero who fought back against the government mandates, who suffered through stigma, ostracization, shame, and personal, personal tragedy, to not take the thing that everybody said that they had to take. And this like unlikely hero is O negative. and he ends up having his blood. His blood is what saves everybody in this movie. It's like his blood will save you because he's like the only one. He has the best blood source, and that's what ends up saving people in this version. Like you have to have, if you want to cleanse yourself, you have to cycle in pure blood, to get going. And pure blood is really valuable. That's the most valuable commodity, more valuable per ounce than gold. Wow, that would be really expensive, but it would be really valuable. And also, there would probably be some kind of hyperinflation too. So who knows? But blood, you would be really valuable. You would have to, like, the unlikely hero has security watching him because people are going, people want to get him. People want to kidnap him and take his blood from him. And then he's a celebrity in the end. He's a celebrity. He's a hero. Everybody worships him. He saves civilization. They figure out how to clone him. And then his pure blood, and then future generations are all come from his pure blood stock. It repopulates the earth. So that's how the movie goes. But as far as this reality, though, everything's fine. Everything's cool. Don't worry about it. Eat your fake meat. Eat your fake meat burgers. Save the planet. Now, I just thought I'd give you. I thought I'd give you. Oh, if you want to support the show, go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. You guys learned that Steven Crowder is worth $50 million. So it's only $7 a month to become a member. And that's what we're aiming for, is members. So you can go on there to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. And you can click on the membership tab and you become a member and leave a note at the same time. Or you can also buy coffees. So either one. And the Buy Me a Coffee, it's $7, but you can also do more if you want. So that's what I have to get, is more memberships. But you can also just leave coffee there. And I also take super chats, and I also take tips over on Rockfin too. All that stuff. So what do you think that's going to happen? I do wonder if people are going to start panicking. So far but it's kind of, people are words kind of getting out and stuff. I know I say that though. On the other show, I said the tide is turning. Other times I say the dam is breaking. I've had all these titles over the years. Say, oh, it's happening. It's happening. It's finally happening. I don't know. It's progressively happening. The word is getting out. But it's so hard living in the future sometimes. Fake meat. If you are not a fan of fake meat, I have good news for you. Apparently, it was a passing fad. So check this out. Fake meat was supposed to save the world. It became just another fad. So it says plant-based meat is turning out to be a flop. So I guess it didn't work out. You didn't like it. People didn't end up buying it. So it didn't work. Yeah, I'd say people probably prefer real meat, especially since I don't think you could show any health benefits from the fake meat. And who knows if there were actually environmental benefits. At the WEF, somebody did say the other day, that we should stop eating meat to save the planet. I'm mixed on it. I was a vegetarian because I didn't think eating meat was good. And similar to like Indian Buddhists and stuff that don't eat meat, but cheese and so forth is okay. Cheese, milk, eggs are all okay because you're not eating any flesh or anything. But then I started to eat meat again. It's easier. And if you're ever in the wild, having to survive by yourself, you can't be a vegan or a vegetarian. You pretty much have to consume meat as part of your diet if you're going to make it in the wild. So one diet that makes sense is a caveman diet, which is to eat like they would have eaten 10,000 years ago. So, which, could be grains, natural grains, nice meats, etc. But you wouldn't survive. You can't survive out there on your own. If you ever want to worry about losing weight, if you're ever thinking about losing weight, watch that TV show Alone. They're out in the wild. Watch that show. I watched that the other day. Or I watched the series Alone. They drop people off in the wilderness. They have to build their cabin and survive and shoot things and trap things. And they get really skinny. So if you ever think you're having trouble not eating, watch that show. They don't eat a lot, and it's totally insane. But they have to catch their own meat, their own food. They don't eat for days. So, yeah, I was going to come up with something called the apocalypse diet. I'm working on it. The apocalypse diet. Okay, what other news for you? Do you guys think slap fighting is okay? People are debating whether this is okay. Slap fighting, it's happening. I guess it's an offshoot of the UFC from Dana White. So I'll show you it, and I'll give you my controversial opinion. Okay. Slap fighting, where people stand in front of each other and hit each other in the face as hard as possible, but with an open hand. I'll show you this clip. Here we go.
1, 2.
There, somebody got knocked out. Oh, and then girls do it? Oh, man.
Fight's over.
Man, shit's crazy.
Idaho, small town for big boys, baby.
So anyway, there you go. Power slap on TBS. Seems like a good way for people just to get straight brain damage. So I know people think it's funny, but it's really, you could just get brain damage. That's why I have trouble watching boxing and stuff these days, because they're just literally, beating each other in a way where they end up getting screwed up. And this one is bad because they're defenseless the whole time, even though it's an open hand. I don't know. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's a good sign. And could be, literally permanent brain damage potential from that stuff. It's just absolutely crazy. All right. Slap fighting. I'll give you other news. Let's see. This hockey player wouldn't wear a pro LGBTQ uniform. And so people are saying he should be removed from the NFL. So people are talking about that. I'll play a clip. This one guy, Ivan Provorov, he decided not to do the Pride night. And they're giving him a hard time saying he's got to leave the NHL or something. I'll play you something. And then maybe I'll take some calls. You can go to, you know where to go. Let me play this.
And Ivan Provorov can get on a plane any day he wants and go back to a place where he feels more comfortable, take less money, and get on with his life that way. If it's that problematic for him, And he's been in North America for a long time. He played in the Western Hockey League. He's now been in Philadelphia for many years. If this is that much of a problem for him to maybe assimilate into his group of teammates and in the community and here in this country, that's okay. Listen, you can feel any way you want. But the beauty is, if it bothers you that much, there's always a chance to leave, go back where you feel more comfortable. I understand there's a conflict of sorts going on over there. Maybe get involved. So,
all right. So there you go. He says like, because he doesn't join in with his teammates and he's not getting along with, it sounds like it's American values. It's American values for us to do all this pride stuff. So I don't know. I get in trouble because because I support gay rights. And I do. I would go to bat for gay people if they're being discriminated against for being gay. But then again, I feel like people should be allowed to opt out of doing stuff they disagree with. And who knows what it represents? Pride in what? Pride in what these days? That's the thing. What does it indicate? Pride in LGB, pride in T. But if you don't believe in T, some people don't. They say it's denying the existence of T if you don't believe it. And so I don't believe it. I just think people think, I think people think it and they might act like that, but I don't believe it. So they say that's denying the existence of. But would I wear a pride jersey? I don't know. If the rest of the team was doing it, yeah, maybe. I don't know if I'd make a big deal out of it myself, but I respect somebody's right to. Especially, it's like asking everybody to take a knee. Like, what am I do? What are we representing? What does this say about us? What are we doing? This is a funny headline. I told you there's different versions of reality. There's a version of reality where women have penises. But I think this headline is a joke. I think this is making a joke of it. This is from the Times and Sunday Times. Scotland knew a transgender woman has denied raping 2 women with her penis as she went on trial at the High Court in Glasgow. So I think they were making a joke with that headline. Transgender woman has denied raping 2 women with her penis as she went on trial at the High Court in Glasgow. So that's good. I have video of white people being violent. The only reason somebody was making a point, and I understand the point. There are lots of videos on the internet. People do post videos of black people being violent, and then they imply, with subtly or not so subtly, that it has something to do with being black, that the people are violent. They're like, oh, these people sort of thing, right? There are a lot of those. So I want to be fair and show that there is also sometimes white on white violence. So this guy was making a point. I'll show you this video. This is video of a white girl kicking another white girl's ass. Oh. Hey, stop. So there you go. Anyway, somebody was saying, oh, so this person was making the point, oh, it's the white people. He was saying, you see how those white people are. But I get it. It's true. People have different ideas. Some people think you have to navigate a world where people have different beliefs and people live into slightly different versions of reality too. All right, I'll check my coffees. If you were generous, you went to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil and you left a coffee. And I saw that there were tips on Rockfin. I have to reload Rockfin. Here we go. Thanks. Real Spaniel 1989 became a member. Yes. Perfect. Says, dude, here's to cheering you on to hit hundreds of thousands of subscribers once again. Thank you. It might happen if the AI says it's okay. Hobotami got 10 coffees. Thank you. Hobotami says, guaranteed the dude. Okay. Can I read this? Yeah, sure. I can read it. Guaranteed that dude always drop in. Can I say this? Okay. I understand. You're saying the N-word guy is from another group, and you think that it's characteristic of tactics of another group. I got it. Thanks, Rainier Rottenberg. I don't know if that's from, I think that's from yesterday. So thanks, Hobo Tommy, for backing up the stream. I appreciate it. You guys can still go there to drop a coffee or leave a thing. I'll take phone calls. I'll see if who wants to call in. And I want to go ahead and thank people on Rockfin for the tips. Thanks, Mark Asher, for the tip. Thanks, Vogan Filter, who says, no, not sure if you've done it, but I'd sport an LTV shirt with headphones logo, white on black box. Thanks. Thanks, Vogan Filter. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to make new t-shirts. Check out our t-shirts at truthclothing.io. And if it makes a difference to you and you want to subscribe to become a member and you want a t-shirt, let me know. You can email me. If you become a member and want a t-shirt, then email me at lifttheveil401@gmail.com. I can give you a coupon for members only, though. And I can check that. So I'll open the phone. Let's see. 650-429-8294. And you can still drop a coffee for the show. Let's see how many people we got tuned in. Yes. Okay. I got to figure out, I have to make shorter videos at some point. I'm thinking of going to 4 days a week with with a day to make short videos. Not sure. But we've got to get out some viral content. You know the video most people tuned in for this week? Epstein client list. It was clickbait. And then the title I ran with yesterday, hardly anybody wanted to click on it. Hey, you're on the air.
Nathan, what's up? It's Hobo Tommy.
Hey, Hobo Tommy, what's up?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yo, dude, straight up New York J tactic.
I got it.
I'm from New York City. With a real white supremacist will put some pride into like his swastika and like his hate crimes.
Yes.
And be more subtle about it, not just like show up and start dropping bombs.
Right. Well, they might use laser lights. I have a story about that. These guys are really famous. This Goyim Defense League. Are you familiar with them? And Handsome Truth and Goyim.tv or Goyim TV?
A little bit.
Yeah, they shine lights. They shine swastikas and stuff with laser lights, and they laser light onto stadiums and stuff. They had to ban laser projecting in Jacksonville, Florida, because people were laser projecting neo-Nazi messages onto buildings.
That's pretty funny.
I know.
But there's it's like it happens a couple of times a year where there's a shitty swastika gets spray painted on like a Holocaust memorial. And
yes.
It's like a backwards swastika, and it's like you can tell it's like a real white supremacist is gonna know how to draw a swastika.
Yes, often, like many times, hate crimes are fake. Many times hate crimes are fake and perpetrated by like the same people that supposedly the hate crime is against. That happens a lot.
Especially on the East Coast. If it's on the East Coast, like the Northeast, almost guaranteed it's fake.
Really? Yeah. Well, they'd think that was wrong to say, but whenever you look into it, most of these hate crimes, I mean, a lot of them, especially if they get a lot of media attention, a lot of times they're not real.
Do you remember, I think this happened in California. Do you remember this like little kid got in trouble at his school? He was a little black kid and he made like $1,000 selling N-word passes at school to the white kids.
Oh, did he
You
really?
remember that?
No, but
Yeah.
that's funny. That's a good scam. He sold
I know, that's what
N-word
I'm saying.
passes. Wow, that's a great scam.
I'm thinking, like, if you pretend to be a J, maybe you can start selling like J-word passes or something.
Right. I know. That would be funny. Yeah, there is like another version of reality where I LARP as a Jewish person who's like extremely critical. I'm a Jewish person who's extremely critical of Jewish things in another, a totally different character though.
Right. And in an alternate reality, so they say that the average person's social circle is like 200 people on average. In an alternate reality, has anybody within your social circle that you know died because of the stuff that they were pushing in an alternate reality?
No, nobody directly. No, like I know I have a friend now, but I met him because he had a sign on his truck saying his wife got, his wife died and he thought it was because of the shot. And one of the coroners thought it was because of the shot and stuff. So I know that person, but that wasn't somebody I knew already. All I know like already is my dad ended up having to get a pacemaker, for some reason. So that's not good. And then his girlfriend had some kind of heart problems too at one point. But then I don't know that I don't know I don't have, my circle is probably smaller than regular circles, but beyond that, yeah, I don't know anybody personally.
I'm in the same boat. Like, my circle is probably a lot smaller, and a lot of the people that are in are purebloods. I'm proud to say. So
Right.
So I don't really know. I'm waiting to start getting like emails and phone calls and stuff. But
yeah,
thank God it hasn't happened yet.
Well, my dad ended up having heart problems, and who knows why for sure. He is old, but it definitely could be related. So, so that's pretty close.
Yeah, I gotcha. So that flat fight stuff. I think that started in like Russia and Eastern Europe. I remember seeing videos a couple years ago. Man, they were pretty brutal, dude.
Yeah, it is really violent. I mean, people don't think of it as being really violent, but what it does to your, like, as far as brain injuries go and stuff, it can't be good. It's got to be really bad. I mean, there are so many things we do that are bad, but
it's got to be worse than like straight up boxing or MMA.
It would be worse than MMA. Worse than MMA because probably in MMA, most of the time you're getting hit, you're at least, I don't know, you're at least defending yourself or something. I mean, in this case,
you're supposed to dodge the hit.
Yeah, like you're trying to, at least you're trying to move your head or something. In this case, you have to just stick your head there and take a full on hit to the face. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's an open hand, it still can mess you up.
Well, so the precursor to MMA was called pancrase in the 90s, and that was essentially you weren't allowed to closed fist hit people to the face. You had to you had the palm strike, which is essentially the same thing.
Right. Well, the thing about MMA, so I used to really love boxing, but then the thing about boxing that makes it worse than MMA is they let you get up after you get knocked out, basically. I mean, you can basically get knocked out or close to it and then still get back on your feet and go back in there and take more abuse, which is really, really bad for you. So I feel like boxing is actually worse because your head is getting knocked more, like, constantly. And MMA, at least you get choked out or you get knocked out and you stay, and that's it. The fight's over. It's not like you keep fighting. So,
man, I used to be huge into martial arts, boxing, MMA, and then like as I got older, I realized that it's all corrupt in a show. But you're absolutely right. Boxing is worse because the gloves are bigger and the rounds are longer and there's more rounds. So you're essentially just taking more prolonged damage to the head.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think too. So I think actually MMA is better because if you get knocked out, you just get knocked out and that's it. It's over. So, yeah.
And so the Russian slap fighting league, you should see if you can find some of those videos, because they don't test for performance enhancing drugs. When you
Oh,
see these dudes' arms, you could see like they just took the needle out of the arm like right
right.
before the match.
Right.
It's
God.
it's
Yeah.
pretty
Well,
wild.
I mean, I have a feeling, there are performance enhancing drugs, and pretty much any sport that doesn't really, really test is going to have it. And I remember a lot of the guys in MMA. I remember some of those guys, their bodies were just so chiseled. There was just no way. It just didn't happen naturally. I'm trying to think, like that guy Balfort. Like he was ridiculous. I mean, there was no way his
Well,
body
so
was natural.
I have a lot of experience with performance enhancing drugs. It's pretty easy to tell, most of the time you're going to be really puffy. But there's
Yeah.
different types of steroids. There's steroids for cutting. There's steroids for shedding water weight. There's just steroids for getting big and putting weight on. If you're trying to maintain a weight class, you're going to probably use, I think it's called like Deca or D-ball or Winstrol, which is like a diuretic steroid. Like it's really, really dangerous and bad for your body, because it basically just like cuts all the nutrients out of your body and leaves only muscle.
Yeah. Well, I think
You'd
people are doing it.
be surprised that you can get pretty ripped going natty.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty easy to tell when someone's juicing once you get familiar with it.
Yeah.
But Dana White is a scam artist. The UFC was owned by the Gracies at first, right? And it was basically it was a Gracie advertisement from like UFC 1 to like UFC 13. The Gracies owned the UFC. The Gracies won like every championship. They basically used it as a commercial for their franchise. And then Dana White took over. Dana White didn't change the business model. He kept the same business model, fixing matches, not getting the best fighters to match, right? That's why McGregor got so popular. McGregor was never a good fighter. McGregor was a good entertainer, and he turned it into the WWE. So screw Dana White.
Right. So they just match up like popular fighters with people who weren't at their level to make them a big star.
Dana White likes the drama, and to his credit, he's made a lot of money and sells tickets. But if you like the sport, it's not good for the sport.
Right. Interesting. Well, yeah, I used to be into it. I remember watching it when Gracie was the champion and stuff, and there were no weight classes and there was no rounds. And you just fought until somebody tapped out. I mean, that was crazy.
So I was like, when I was a teenager, I was obsessed with Ken Shamrock. Like before he was the WWE wrestler, he was a grappler, a pancrase fighter, and an MMA fighter.
Yep. He was good.
And then like in 2003, he wrote that book, and he said that he basically got paid to lose every fight against a Gracie. And I lost so much respect for him.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
I cried. I think I cried. Like that's how much I liked Ken Shamrock.
Oh, really? Wow, that's crazy. That's a crazy story.
But anyway,
cool, man.
Oh, hey, quick question. So the Crowder's worth $50 million. How much is Ben Shapiro worth?
Oh man, you tell me. Like, how much is this show worth? Like, if he's worth 50, then this show's got to be worth something.
Dude,
I mean, really?
Shapiro is like the whiniest rube I've ever. How do people listen? How can people stand to listen to his nasally, whiny New York J voice?
Does he do a show on YouTube or what? I don't watch any of the Daily Wire content
I don't know,
creators.
dude. I don't watch Shapiro.
I don't watch any
Crowder.
of them.
If they've got like if they're popular, I assume that they're propaganda, so I just stay away from it. So,
well, what happens if this channel? What happens if this channel ever gets popular? Do you think that's just impossible?
Well, no. I mean, I started following you from the beginning, so like I will be able to see your evolution. Like if I see, like if your demeanor changes and your opinions change, and like so, you start saying, hey, like, oh, maybe Pfizer's not so bad,
right,
stuff like that.
How much do you think?
I know, right?
How much do you think it would cost Pfizer if they to buy me so that I just so that I wouldn't talk about it anymore? How much do you think it would take?
You know, dude, I'm so surprised at these people in Congress, how they like sell out for like 50 grand for like
Yeah.
100. They're so cheap. I feel like Pfizer comes to these people and they're like, hey, I'll give you 50 grand. And most people are like, oh yeah, oh. But
Right.
if you were to play hardball, they would probably start coming at you with like a couple million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I have to do. I have to get popular enough that Pfizer wants to buy me, and then I'll negotiate with them.
So, and you know, Pfizer buys heads of state. 2 more minutes. Let me get 2 more minutes of your time. I'll tell you a quick story. During the Colombian presidential election down here in Latin America, it was against Petro and then this other guy. They called him the Colombian Trump. So right before the election, he got busted on a yacht, on a Pfizer sponsored. He came to Miami to meet with Pfizer on a yacht and like 20 girls off the coast of Florida. And it was like a big scandal down here. So I mean,
really?
if they're buying heads, this guy was not even a head of state yet. He was, you know, a contestant, right? What do you call it? He didn't even win. The election was like 2 weeks away, and they're already giving this dude millions of dollars and like 18-year-old girls.
Wow.
And he didn't even have any authority yet.
Wow.
So I mean, if these people are buying heads of state, potential heads of state, you know, and they come at you, like if they do ever come to you, you know, at least get paid out of it, right?
Okay.
Don't capitulate to the first number they throw at you.
Okay. All right. I'll take your advice.
Cool, man. Hey, I
all
love
right.
the show, dude.
Thanks, Tommy. Thanks for all the coffees. Appreciate it.
See, yeah, no problem. Later.
See ya. All right. Tommy's like the main sponsor of this show, so we give him lots of airtime. See how it works? You can buy time by going to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. And yeah, become a member. Become a member. You can do that anytime, and you can leave a message at the same time. Hey, you're on the air.
What's up, Nathan?
Hey, what's up?
I decided to say it that way so the in part wouldn't sound too bad. But
I know. I was thinking.
So how did that back massage go?
It's well, I haven't done it yet. But
what?
I will. We'll do it tonight.
Oh, it's been a week. I thought, okay, all right. So I actually had some ideas for this. So you're right on the money with the shorts.
Yes.
You got to like pick the. I mean, we've all seen like that guy that's like, oh, I used to sell weed on the West Coast, and now I have like 1 million followers because they pushed his shorts in the last few months.
Oh, really? We've seen that guy. I don't know which guy you're talking about.
I forget Johnny Mitchell or something. He's kind of a comedian. He's all right, but I mean, it took him 1 month to like just blow up and have a huge channel.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I've got to figure out. I don't know the way everybody makes their shorts. You know, they put them in with like effects, or they put it in where they're in front of something, and like I don't have a
and
team.
You have to use that song. We built this house on memory. You got to use like some of those.
You got to use. Yeah. So all I've been able to do so far. So yeah, I feel like maybe there's somebody. I wish there was somebody who could just like make my content into shorts.
Dude, that's what I feel like too. I just wish someone could make my content. I could just be the monkey.
Yeah, right.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I'm like creating the content. But somebody would have to mix it together and make it seem interesting, because I got to do research during the day and stuff. So during the day, I'm doing research. I'm working with AI. I don't have time to make all kinds of YouTube shorts. I have to get ready for the show, and I already lose track of time that way. So
have you looked a video up of the best way to make shorts?
No, I have. I mean, I have. Yeah.
Ask the AI to do that research for you. Real quick.
Yeah. I know. You got to use your phone and do some stuff.
Here's another thing that I've seen. Like, It's because there's like on the Venn diagram, like the audience crossover is probably somewhat similar, but there's these like doomsday LARPers that are always like, they call themselves preppers, but like full spectrum survival and Canadian prepper.
Mm-hmm.
And what they'll do is they'll make these outlandish predictions. Like, sorry, there's an echo in the phone. That's all. But
do you want me to fix it?
they're like,
do you want me to fix the
please,
echo?
that'd be awesome.
Okay, I'll fix it.
Yeah, thank
Just
you.
for you. All right, is that better? Okay. Hold on though. Actually, now nobody can hear you. So hold on. So now I have to present the screen. It's going to show your phone number. How do I? I don't know how. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to make it. Yeah, I'll have to go back to echo. Nobody can hear you right now, so I'll have to go to echo. Go ahead.
Okay. But yeah, they'll make these outlandish predictions that like World War III starts on Friday was one that the Canadian prepper did like 2 days ago.
Perfect.
And
Perfect video.
I have to take screenshots because what they do, these sneaky little bastards, is they then, because that's great clickbait, but they change the title of the video when their predictions don't come true.
Wow, that's smart.
It's very like false prophet and like duplicitous, but also like, man, that's got to like pull in some viewers.
Well,
so between like shorts and
I know it's a scam, you know, like I was going to, I look at the videos some other people make.
It's some top G shit.
Yeah. I was going to make a video. There's one video I'm going to make one of these days. The title is going to be, this is going to be my last show. I'll just say that, or this might be my last show. Right. And I'll put that out and then people will be like, oh my God, it's his last show. And I'll just be like, yeah, well, maybe, I don't know.
Like modifying words like could and possibly and would.
Yeah.
Those are like, yeah, those are as good as, I forgot what I was going to say, but
my predictions,
like use a lot of vague terms like that, but then make a solid claim with those vague terms.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whenever somebody has a good prediction about the world ending, I always cover it because it's always good for clickbait. So I'll say,
if you cover someone else doing it,
yeah, exactly,
and you just like hide the quotes or something.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I do.
didn't say it.
Yeah,
because it's shameless out there now. People are desperate, and it's like anything to get eyes on stuff.
Oh yeah, one of my most famous videos is like Trump declares martial law or something. And it was because somebody else published something that said that. I was like, oh my God, that's so ridiculous. But he said it. So I put it in there.
Hillary jailed in Guantanamo.
Yeah. Hillary jailed in Guantanamo. Something like that. I know. It's crazy. I know.
But yeah, do the massage thing and do the shorts. Like I would spend the weekend, like if you're going to do a 4-day on 3-day off thing, take at least like a 4-hour block out of one of those days and look into like how to make a short, because I bet you in less than a month you'll have a short that'll have more views than anything you've ever put out.
Well, let's see what it depends. I have to find the right information to put out. I mean, sometimes I come across information where I think it's good, but a lot of times the information I come across is information that they want to censor. Like I put out the video about Andrew Tate and they censored it because I said rape in the video or something. So they censored it, but it started to go viral. I had a few of them that started to go viral and then they suppressed them. So we'll see what happens. I have to come up with something interesting to say.
If you look through and find like funny bits out of like, you know, if you're playing like an Andrew Tate thing, like for instance, when he was saying like, I'm a fucking genius. I'm the smartest guy in the world. You're lucky I pin you down. And you were like, oh, the smartest guy in the world leaves messages like these.
Right.
Like, I think that would make a good, like 30-second short.
Well, I did make it into a short. I did do that, but they deleted that short. They deleted it.
They deleted that too? Because it was part of the original?
Yeah, I guess so. Because I was doing it in a sarcastic way. I don't know. I don't know. I made a joke though. I did it in a sarcastic way. The video started to go viral, then it was suppressed, and then they deleted it. So
you could rework that one. It's still got legs because that guy.
still got legs.
Yeah, look for like lolcow. Whenever they put someone like that out, or like we just had Greta Thunberg get fake arrested. Like I'm sure there's a joke in there that would because there's a lot of like you were like, wow, the AI really like narrows it down specifically for you, but it's like I've found that the AI pushes a lot of the same shorts to all of us because if you have similar interests, it only has so big of a well to choose from.
Yeah, right. And so they need more, like there need to be more shorts. There's not enough content.
There's room for you. There's room for you to get in there. It doesn't. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I got it.
All right.
I'm aware of it. Thank you.
And
Appreciate
shorts.
it. Okay. Thanks. Okay.
Right,
thanks, Coco. Bye. Okay, cool. That's Top Feed Coco with good advice, massages, and shorts. YouTube shorts, that is. (650-429-8294) is the number. Thanks for calling in. Good calls today. I'll check to see if anybody gave me any more coffees. We're looking for members. We're on a membership drive. And you just go to buy me a coffee. Okay. We didn't get any more. But you can still. Hey, you're on the air. Hey, you're on the air.
Nigger faggot, nigger faggot, nigger faggot.
Wow. Those are bad words. Those are bad words. But when used out for whatever reason, thankfully, YouTube doesn't take down the videos for saying that. So that's good. I have my series about gang stalkers. He's like a gang stalker. That's like a gang stalker right there. Somebody who calls every single show to say something like that. What if I turn that into a YouTube short? Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, my name's Anne. I'm the one who called when the flooding started and got cut off.
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Oh, not much. Just getting ready for bed, even though it's really early. But I wanted to talk about. Well, you might be interested in. I was raised by a transsexual mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she was my aunt, and my real parents died, and her and my uncle took me and my sister, and she was born a man. Mm-hmm. And so I call her mom. Mm-hmm. And so I'm one of those people that kind of have an experience with that,
And what do you think?
Well, I think that she's a very interesting person. She's unusual, and I don't think she has a lot of maternal instincts. But she was like a helicopter mom growing up. She was very strict.
Interesting.
Yeah, she sent us to Catholic school, and we had to do everything by the book. Like our lives were really timed. At this hour you have to do this, at that hour you got to do that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know if it makes a difference because she's the person. So I just don't. I can like compare her to my real mom, but she died when I was like almost 8. Mm-hmm. And my real mom was really like soft and tender, and you could cry. But my second mom, she barely touched us, and didn't really say she loved us, but we knew that she did. So
interesting.
Yeah. Now she's married to a millionaire now.
Oh, really? Wow, that must be great.
Yeah. I guess. Well, he died actually, but she's his inheritor or whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I know she's really protective. Like as a teenager, I didn't really know that she was a transsexual. And one time she was saying there's people that want to kill me.
Hmm.
And I was like, what are you talking about? But now I kind of understand
Right.
that. Yeah, and I found out since that she had the surgery in I guess the early 70s at University of Washington and the hospital there, and it was experimental surgery.
Right. It's still
Yeah,
experimental. That's the thing. But yeah.
yeah. I guess it started though in like the 30s is
Wow.
when, yeah. So it's been going on a long time. She
Hmm.
was only 17, but she tried to kill herself, and so
Mm.
her mom to save her life, because she was saying, if I don't get this surgery, I'm going to kill myself. And so her mom agreed and signed the papers
Hmm.
and let her go
Wow.
ahead,
Wild.
even though her mom was a Southern Baptist. So
Really interesting.
yeah,
Wow. Well, the person she was really committed. So that person.
yeah,
So
literally.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
I think she's really like, I don't know, she has a pretty like effervescent what's that word?
Effervescent.
Effervescent personality, where she's really intense, but she's not sexually weird at all. Like she never abused us
Yeah.
sexually or
Right.
anything
Right.
like that.
Right.
Yeah. So she wasn't like that, but she used to like get us in trouble. Like if we got in trouble, she would have my uncle hit us,
Oh,
like
really?
spank us,
Right. Right.
and he would do it really hard too. And she would, yeah. So
Yeah.
that was kind of,
That's not good, but
her.
people used to do that. So
Yeah, she was abusive by proxy, I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah. Right. Right. Well, people
Yeah,
used to do that though. So now not so much anymore, but that was more
yeah,
common back then. Yeah.
yeah. When I was young, I would cry. She also did this thing where sometimes when we got in trouble, she would make us stand, and she would do a tirade against us for like hours and hours.
Weird.
Yeah, that was one of the worst things. And
Weird.
so, but I wouldn't say I hate her. And you know, I don't know. She just an interesting part of my life, and I feel it's weird because people just freak out when I tell them, that I I was raised by a transsexual. But the two is that I started getting hints in my early 20s. Like I had this boyfriend who was like, I think your mom's a man. And I was like, what? And
You didn't even know, huh?
yeah, I didn't really have an idea.
Right.
And then so me and my mom were gonna go to a movie. So she came and picked me up, and I asked her in the car, I said, my boyfriend's been telling me this stuff, and I need to ask you, are you a man? And she told me that she was a hermaphrodite. So,
Interesting.
yeah, own word.
Interesting.
That's, yeah. So I don't know. So I thought I'd just put in that tidbit that, I don't know, that there's a different way to look at the transsexual thing. And I think she really felt she needed it. And I mean, I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it all works either.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's an agenda now on getting people into doing it, but at the same time, maybe there is a bunch of people that feel like they're the wrong gender. So
yeah, but why? But like, what about society is making them feel that way? Because why can't you just be different? Why can't you just act different or feminine or what have you? Why do you have to say you're another gender, actually? Why can't you just act feminine or grow your hair long or wear a dress? What
Well,
have
I
you?
guess, but she was attracted to men, and
Mm-hmm.
she wanted to be a mom, and it was
Mm-hmm.
kind of a she could never be a mom, so when she had the opportunity, she also was the only one out of the family who wanted us, who was like, oh yay, I'll be a mom,
Mm-hmm.
and these, I could
Mm-hmm.
have gone to foster care,
Right.
but
So
yeah, so he basically saved us from
mm-hmm.
God, but maybe it's, maybe they, sometimes I wonder, MK Ultra, maybe they do some weird things, because I know she lived in San Francisco for a while
Mm-hmm.
before she got us, and I don't know. Sometimes it seems crazy, but maybe something happened down there. Another
Dunno.
thing is she's very racist. That's
Mm.
another.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, Republican. So that's weird.
She was oh yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, she's very conservative, and
Weird.
yeah, I know she's kind of an interesting person. So I mean, why some people want to be transsexuals? I mean, it could be natural. There are fluid genders, I suppose, but maybe also it started a long time ago where, because that Canadian doctor that was in MK Ultra, he was doing experimental tests on little kids, on dressing boys as girls and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
You know that one?
I don't know the test.
So maybe also, I know Alex Jones always says, yeah, he was like this. He was like, he ran a hospital, and you'll probably figure out about him sometime. But maybe, like Alex Jones says, they put frogs, and they make frogs gay or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they have put hormones and all sorts of stuff to make it prominent.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, something's
Yeah.
going on. Something's going on where everybody's saying they're a different gender now, where they didn't used to say it before. So, but
Right.
who knows what it's from specifically?
Yeah, and I've also heard that the transsexual kids now, that high percentage of suicide, but at the same time, that could have been before they got transitions. Like my mom, she was suicidal and then got the surgery, and she since.
Right. Yeah, who knows?
Well,
So
I thought I'd just share that with you.
I appreciate it. Thanks for sharing
story.
that. Yeah, it's good to have a personal anecdote about it. So thanks for that.
Okay. Talk to you later.
All right. Talk to you later.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, I don't know why it happens. But I believe people can be gender. Well, I think people should just express themselves the way they want to express themselves. But you don't define yourself as something different. Like we don't. I think this is a prank call. Hey, you're on the air. I knew it pretty early, at least. How did I know? Just by looking at the number. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for all the phone calls today. Thanks for the donos. You can still become a member by going to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. You can buy one of our t-shirts by going to truthclothing.io. We have great stuff there. And we'll see you guys next week. We do the show regularly weekdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Thanks, Brian M., who says, thanks for being a lightning rod for interesting callers. Okay, cool. Then he is specifically speaking about the last caller. I am a lightning rod for good callers. That's true. All right. So we'll see you guys at the next one. All right. Have a good weekend for now. Oh, I got a super chat. Sorry. It doesn't show up though. I did get a 10. Oh, here. Thanks, Tom O'Thee, who says, love you, dude. Been watching for years. Thanks for that super chat. Appreciate it. Go ahead and like the stream, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys at the next one. All right. For now, that's what it is.